President Emmanuel Macron has embarked on a historic state visit to Germany, the first by a French head of state in 24 years. This significant three-day visit aims to strengthen the ties between the European Union's leading powers, especially ahead of the European Parliament elections, where far-right parties in both nations are poised to make gains.
Let's look around us at this fascination for authoritarian regimes. Look at Europe and the illiberal moment we're going through. Some say, including just a few miles away. In fact, let's take Europe's money, but never mind about the independence of judges. Let's take Europe's money, but forget about freedom of the press. Let's take Europe's money, but forget about cultural diversity. Let's take Europe's money, but let's forget about the autonomy of universities and academic freedom.
As the EU's largest economies, France and Germany are often seen as the driving force behind European integration, despite occasional policy differences. This dynamic was evident earlier this year with their varied stances on deploying Western ground troops to Ukraine. Nonetheless, both nations staunchly support Kyiv. Macron reiterated the necessity for Europe to establish a robust defense in light of Russia's ongoing war in Ukraine and to pursue significant trade and economic reforms to stay competitive with China and the US. With European Parliament elections approaching, Macron noted that fears of a changing world are fueling the rise of far-right movements in Europe. He emphasized the importance of addressing these fears with respect and greater efficiency to solve the underlying problems and prevent the rise of extremism.
We have to bring people together in a common dream. What also feeds the extremes is the difficulty in our democracies, in part linked to social networks, which fragment it. But that is our collective responsibility. What is our common horizon? A common horizon that is desirable for all of us, in which the vast majority of us can find ourselves. I believe that this is one of the best ways to fight against the rise of extremes, and in particular right-wing extremists and nationalism.
In a significant escalation of international involvement in the Ukraine conflict, France has committed to sending military instructors to assist in training Ukrainian soldiers. This initiative aims to enhance the efficiency of Ukrainian forces amid ongoing hostilities with Russia. The commander-in-chief of the Ukrainian armed forces welcomed France's decision, noting that the first French instructors will soon visit Ukrainian training centers to familiarize themselves with the infrastructure and staff. Russia and France are currently at a critical juncture due to France's repeated challenges to Russia. Earlier this month, amidst a verbal dispute over the possible deployment of French troops in Ukraine, Russia has issued a stern warning to French President Emmanuel Macron and his military. This is the most direct threat yet in the ongoing exchange between the two nations. Russian Foreign Ministry made it clear that if French troops enter Ukraine, they won't be safe from Russian military action.
We have made up our minds a long time ago, and if the French appear in the conflict zone, they will inevitably become targets for the Russian armed forces.
This development underscores the growing international stakes in the Ukraine conflict and raises questions about how Russia might respond, highlighting the fragile and tense state of the current geopolitical climate.